Hi, good evening all. Welcome to Blue and Gold Talk. Time for a video finally, folks. Time for a video. I've been burying myself in work. Yes, I'm keeping up to date on the Sabres, but folks, I'm just not into this season. I'm just not. It's been a frustrating year. And if I can make money, it's taking priority over the change I make on the channel here, guys. It just is. And I'm able to buy things. I'm buying all this vintage sound equipment lately. I tell you, I'm an addict with certain stuff, guys. So, a few things I want to discuss. We'll talk about tonight's game first. I want to talk about the Buffalo Bills also. And I want to talk about this Pettersson rumor, this Elias Peterson. We keep hearing about it over and over and over, guys. We keep just hearing about it. So, where there's smoke, there's fire, okay? Now, before I get into the game, I want to talk to you Bills fans. Oh my God. I can't remember the last. Now you know how I felt in the Super Bowl last year when the 49ers were at the 4-yard line and Shanahan decides to kick a field goal and gives the ball back to them. Now, it's not the same thing. You guys had tons of bad calls go against you in that game. But the frustration, you can understand how I felt last year about why I can't stand Kansas City. They just seem like the team that gets lucky, blessed, call it what you want. Rigged. I'm going to hear that. I'm going to hear that from Buffalo Bills fans. And last year, we were at the 4-yard line. We put it in the end zone. We got the Super Bowl. Over. We don't give them a chance. And our coward coach kicks a field goal. I hate him. I can't stand this guy. Until the 49ers get rid of that coach, forget it. They're not winning a Super Bowl again. Until they get rid of that clown. Seriously. And that kind of brings me to the Bills. I'm seeing sometimes with their play calling, and I don't want to jump on that because I do believe the calls were the reason they lost the game, okay? But the play calling, guys, is a little too conservative, I find. Maybe I'm just being a frustrated 49ers fan that can't wait to see Kansas City lose, but I felt like the Bills were just a little too conservative in the game at certain points. But my goodness, Josh Allen's a special talent, guys. You're lucky to have him. Believe me, you are lucky to have this guy. In my opinion, he's the best quarterback in football right now. Right now. I don't care if he hasn't beaten Mahomes in a playoff game. That team had so many breaks go their way last game. It was ridiculous. It was disgusting, actually. I don't want to get into it. So now, I want to talk about the Sabres briefly. Enough about that. Folks, I do believe the Bills are going to break through and win a Super Bowl eventually. I just do. They remind me of any sports team that's going to break through eventually, and you can tell they're on the cusp of that team over there. And this was a year, I don't want to say it was a rebuild year, but wasn't it a year where you guys were kind of retooling the team, kind of? And boom, look how far they went again. It's a great story. Now, the Sabres tonight. We've seen 2 hat tricks. Yes, it's pleasant to watch, guys, but my goodness, it'd have to come after 2 frustrating losses again. And, you know, like, the whole season's like this, guys. And it's just, there's a side of me I can't wait for it to end this year, really. My heart and my nerves are not up to the frustration of this season, really. And I'm happy about tonight. Guys, I'm really happy about tonight. It was nice to see a game with the Sabres, those goals, it wasn't just, we didn't get lucky. These were all good goals tonight. The Sabres really played well. We could have had an empty net tonight and won that game. That's how it felt. I mean, the Sabres were on it tonight, man. They were on it. They had the gas, the pedal down on the gas. They were moving tonight. They were passing well, breaking out nicely, all of it. Even playing aggressive when they had to. I don't understand them. Okay, I don't understand this team, guys. Because you know what we're going to see sooner or later. It might be next game. They don't show up. And we're like, here we go again, you know. But to see 2 hat tricks, that was special. That was nice. I'm glad Pettersson got the empty netter to get the second hat trick of the game. That was nice. And the Sabres today look like they would have beaten anybody in the NHL. That's how good they look tonight. You could tell they're going to win this game. Although I was nervous in the third because it's the third. And I don't trust the Sabres in the third or the second. I don't trust them but today they scored in the second. So I was like, okay. Maybe, maybe we will get this done. A weird team this year, guys. It's a frustrating season, and I'm just going to ride out the season best I can. Really, my heart's just not into the season, guys. It's not. Till the team wins a dozen in a row or something. I just don't believe that they're going to get on a long winning streak this year. I don't know if they're going to get on another winning streak this year. It's a weird season again, where it's just frustrating, you know. Now, I want to talk about this trade that all the Sabres fans have been into. Okay, that's the main reason for the video, really. Let's take a look at Elias Peterson's numbers. Here we go. All right. Now, guys, keep in mind, $11.6 million long-term. Please keep that in mind. Because no matter what way you cut it, what are we going to do if this guy continues to have numbers like this year? 31 points in 43 games. I mean, that's concerning for me. I know everybody's looking at a few years ago, but if you want, I'll do that with Dylan Cousins. So 11 goals in 43 games, $11.6 million, a -5 on a very good team. I don't know, guys. Take a look at that playoffs last year. 13 games, 1 goal. 13 games, 1 goal in the playoffs. 1. And that was a year that the Canucks could have went deep last year. You know, this is what happens. Fans get fed up, right? Fans get fed up pretty quick. And the next thing you know, well, we got to get rid of this guy. He's a bust, and this guy's a bust. Any of you that think Owen Power's a bust, you just haven't followed hockey that long. Because he's 22. Come on, you know? If he was 26, I'd hear everything you have to say. He's 22, and he's a defenseman. You know, they take a little longer to develop. So now, what about, you know, we can talk about that. So, look, let's take a look at Owen Power's numbers this year. Here we go. All right, so Owen Power right now, guys, averaging about half a point a game this year. He's 26 points in 50 games. He did hit a rut where he didn't score any points there for a while, but he got another point tonight. So right now, 6 goals, 20 assists, 26 points after 50 games. I'm going to keep it going. Let's take a look at Dylan Cousins. Dylan Cousins, 50 games, also 26 points, 10 goals, 16 assists. And yes, he has regressed. There's no doubt he has regressed. Now, will his points be as good as last year? We're wondering, right? I think it'll be about the same when it's all said and done. I think Cousins will pick it up to a degree where he should hit 50 points this year. I mean, it's possible. But, you know, if you take a look, again, you know, 31 goals, 37 assists 2 years ago. And we've seen how exciting Cousins was that year, and everybody remembers. We thought that was a brilliant signing. Although I complained about it, I kind of got some slack from you guys when I did. But I'm going to defend that contract now because I don't think it's a terrible signing like everybody else does. I think too often people get caught up in the now, okay? I really do believe that. People get caught up in the now, which is what we do as sports fans. I get it. But as I got older, I learned to stop doing that, and I look at it for what it is. Is this guy a Stanley Cup piece or not? That's, for me, that's it. That's it. Is Dylan Cousins and Owen Power Stanley Cup pieces or not? Because we could say yes or no, and you guys can justify your yeses to me, and I'll listen, and your no's, and I'll listen. But at the same time, this doesn't tell me what we're looking at with a playoff guy, because we haven't seen them in the playoffs. Pettersson last year, like I said, 1 goal the entire 2 series. 1. That for me is alarming, guys. But again, people want to see some movement. They want to see something happen. The team is dormant. Okay. So let's say we make this deal. You guys really, really feel right about it? Trading out these two guys and a first rounder? Really? I'd never do it. Never. I'd say 1 for 1. Maybe Cousins in a first rounder, that's different. But giving up Power also, or Power in a first rounder, and even then, I think that's a little too much, because Power, we don't know what he's going to become. We just don't know. You don't know until you got the right coaches there. You don't know. We could pretend we know, but we don't. Now, when it comes to regression, this is why I don't tend to panic with it, because I've seen players do this. I'm going to show you some numbers here. All right, here, take a look. All right, 73 games, 29 goals, 35 assists, 64 points. Not bad. 69 games, 28 goals, 27 assists, 55 points. Not bad, but about 10 points less, about 4 less games, right? Same amount of games, 73. 29 goals go down to 21 2 years later, and 35 assists, 56 points. Now you look at that, and that's what Cousins could hit this year. He could hit 73 games, right? He should. Could he get 21 goals and 35 assists? That means he'd have to get, from this point on, 21 and 35, he would have to get 11 goals and 19 assists. He needs 30 points in his last 30 games. Or he'd need to get just on a roll, guys. Could he do it? Yeah, he could. Sure he could. Will he probably do it? No, but he could, is what I'm saying. Things can change. Now, I want to show you that regression and how things can just jump all of a sudden. Take a look at this. Okay, there you see the top 3 years I just talked about. Look at the next year. 70 games, 53 goals. From 21 goals to 53 and 66 assists, 119 points. The next year, 56 goals, 69 assists, 125 points. The next year, even better, 56 goals, 80 assists, 136 points. And a career high, 78 games, 60 goals, 72 assists for 132 points, career high in goals. Not points if I said points. And then the final 50-goal season, 52 goals. No, sorry, not the final. 52 goals, 77 assists for 129 points in 80 games. And then in 74 games, 50 goals, 75 assists, 125 points. And if you take a look at that, you see how regression can lead to explosion just a year 3 and 4. That's just one example. And I know it's an extreme example. I'm going to show you who it is. And there he is, Gila Flur. Okay, Gila Flur, arguably the only players I've ever seen better than him were Wayne Gretzky. Well, in order, Bobby Orr, Wayne Gretzky, Mario Lemieux. It's the only players I can honestly, that I've seen that were better than him in my lifetime. No, I'm not going to say Sidney Crosby is as good as Gila Flur. I'm not a fool, guys. 650-goal seasons. This guy, 100 points every year. No. No, this guy was more exciting than Sidney Crosby ever was, this guy. If you didn't see him, it's sad. You didn't see him, though. And people will argue with that, saying, well, Sidney Crosby, way more exciting. Well, you didn't see Gila Flur then. Because Gila Flur, with his hair flying and going full blast, this guy used to deke guys and not even, his legs wouldn't even move and his skates would still be going. This guy would be deking players without his legs moving. Fun times, you know? But this was just one example I want to give where if we make this deal and it comes back to haunt us, I'm going to be on it. I'm going to be on this, and I swear I'm going to do some digging and see who said, get rid of him. And we'll have like a war about it, because I think it's a mistake. If we trade these two players now, if we trade them now, it's a panic move. It's a panic move. Would I be happy getting Pettersson? Yeah, of course. But folks, what if he just turns into like a 70-point guy and we're paying him 11.6? What if that happens? What if we trade Byram, for God's sakes? Byram in a first should be enough to get Pettersson. That should be plenty, okay? Because Byram, they know they'll be able to get him signed in Vancouver. So we don't need to give more. I think we're making a bad mistake. I just really want to go on the record saying it, guys. I think we're making a terrible mistake if we traded all that because we're panicked over a few bad years. We're panicked. We're not making the playoffs anyway this year, guys, unless we go nuts. So if we don't go crazy, what are we really losing out on by not making the deal? If we make this deal and Pettersson comes here, what if he wants out after a few years? Then what? And we start seeing Owen Power and Dylan Cousins thriving in Vancouver. Then what? Are we going to be hypocritical and say we never should have traded them? Because that is what Buffalo fans do, guys. I've seen enough of it. We can't do that. We have to just say we screwed ourselves. We made a mistake. I think it'd be a real bad mistake, guys, to do this. I'd be excited to make a move, though. I want to see something happen this year. Really, I want some interest in the Sabres again. I'm sure a lot of you feel that way. But I don't want it to cost our future. I don't want to give up on our future. These are sure, as far as I'm concerned, sure bets. They just haven't developed yet. I mean, come on, man. Owen Power's 22. He's 22. So let's calm down a little about Power. God, I mean, did we jump the gun paying him ahead of time? Yeah, but the whole NHL does that now. It's not just us, guys. I mean, look at the Nurse contract over in Edmonton. That's one of the worst in hockey. And they're coping with it now, kind of. And as he's gotten older, he's getting better out there. So it's kind of, I just think, guys, if we jump the gun too soon, I believe it'll come back to bite us. I just do. And not because of, I think we made the right trade with St. Louis. Even if Tage would just have become a 20-goal guy, we had to move out from O'Reilly. We had to move out from him, guys. It was either him or Sam at the time, right? We weren't going to trade Sam. Not at the time. Sam, we got back Levi in a first. We did good there. And the Eichel deal, and all these guys, yeah, they went on to win Stanley Cups, but look at the teams they went to. Look at the teams they went to. It wasn't because of them they won the cup. Maybe Sam, though, more than any of the other, more than Jack or Ryan O'Reilly. Like, I would say that Sam had the biggest impact of the three that went there. And people say Ryan O'Reilly won the Conn Smythe. Did he really? I mean, really? Go look at his numbers in the playoffs. What do you have, 8 goals or something? Come on. Bennington should have got that, I thought. But if we trade these guys out, what if they become a huge pieces of a Vancouver championship eventually? There we have only ourselves to blame because we don't have Jack begging to go and people saying we should have let him have his surgery. You don't even follow hockey if you think that's it because Jack asked for a trade the year before the injury. Get your facts straight, some of you guys. And then you have Ryan O'Reilly crying he's losing his love for the game. You can't have players doing that publicly. So he had to go. And Sam Reinhart, I always liked. Still like him. Still a fan. So, guys, I'm going to leave it there. These are just some of my thoughts. What do you think? What are we going to do? Because where there's smoke, there's fire. I do believe something's brewing when it comes to this trade happening. I just don't want to sell the farm to get him. It'd be a mistake. I mean, we're going to trade away a guy that's just as tall as Pettersson, but 30 pounds bigger, who can pop in about the same amount of goals if they're both having good seasons for $4.5 million less. I don't know. I think it's high risk. I just think it's high risk. I'll accept it if they do it, but I'll tell you what, I'm going to be the first one to say we ripped ourselves off. Wait and watch. That's my take. I'm leaving it there. Long enough video, guys, but I owe you one. I'll see you guys soon. Have a good one.